Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Before we get into our main subject for today, just a couple of short items I want to share with everybody and special bonus video at the end, so you may want to stick around for that. So I'm going to start out with, it picks up from what I was talking about yesterday about populism, my definition of populism. There's a writer whom I follow, he's on PJ Media, Richard Fernandez. He also tweets, and when he tweets, he uses the name Richard the Cat. So the tweet says Richard the Cat, but it's Richard Fernandez, if you want to ever read him. I read him often. I think he's very good. Anyways, Fernandez tweeted a couple of tweets about populism, so I'm just going to read them to you. Here's two tweets. As I've written before, the real revelation of the populist uprising was how mediocre the elites had become. That's why people like the Donald and Nigel Farage could take them to the cleaners. Thank God we found out what empty suits they were before a real crisis tested them. And in case you don't know who Nigel Farage is, he was one of the prime movers behind Brexit. He was a major force that caused the British government to hold the referendum in 2016. He subsequently retired from politics when the referendum passed, thinking that his work had been done, but the elites reneged on their promise to obey the results of the referendum. So Farage came back into politics. He campaigned for Boris Johnson, and Johnson won. Second tweet. Trump's recent successes aren't proof of superlative Napoleonic genius. They were mostly the result of the common sense, of the kind the public intuitively understood. The reason he looks so good is his predecessors were so bad. He just had to raise his head above an abysmal standard. So I just wanted to share those two tweets because they pretty much reinforce what I was saying yesterday. Now I want to share a little news item. This is not going to surprise anybody, I suspect, but well, put up the headline. Here we go. The Department of Justice is full of liberals. Analysis of FEC data by Mark Tapscott at the Epoch Times reveals that, quote, all but a tiny fraction of donors listing the Department of Justice as their employer between 2015 and 2019 gave to liberal activist groups and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, unquote. Quote, a total of 1,252 unique donors made 17,103 itemized contributions during the 5-year period, unquote, Tapscott explained. Quote, with ActBlue, the liberal funding pass-through organization, being the recipient of choice for 56%, 706 of them, unquote. Hillary Clinton received 2,824 contributions from 404 DOJ employees, totaling $493,081 with an average donation of $175 during the 2000 campaign. A mere 43 DOJ employees, a whopping 3.4% of contributing employees donated to Trump. Their collective contributions were just under $15,000 with an average of $101 per donation. Quote, in other words, there were almost 10 times as many Clinton donors as Trump donors among those who listed DOJ as their employer during the 2016 campaign, unquote, explained Tapscott. So I would say that one implication of this is that Attorney General Barr better keep a close eye on the Justice Department, the people under him, and make sure that they are doing their jobs, that they are not trying to sabotage Trump. Because, well, I just gave you the numbers. And of course, we all know about the resistance, hashtag the resistance. So I have to think that some of these DOJ employees are members of the resistance. So William Barr, watch your back, watch your employees. And this brings me now to the main subject that I want to discuss today. We are now into the new year, 2020, and you may have seen some articles, because there are media that do articles like this at the end of the old year of what happened in 2019. I'm going to give you a list of events that did not happen in 2019, non-events that should have been reported. The absence of the reporting of these non-events tells you something about the media. So let's just go down the list. Number one, net neutrality disaster. Remember all these predictions of slower internet and more expensive internet? All these predictions of disasters that we now know never happened. The internet is working as well as it did when there was net neutrality. That's one event that did not happen. Another event that doesn't happen, actually, it's multiple events. The daily presidential press briefing, where you had, well, the last press secretary who held one was Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You don't see these daily press briefings anymore. Why don't you? Because Donald Trump, unlike all of his predecessor presidents, I think has been so accessible to the press. It seems every time he goes to a helicopter, well, even at his New Year's Eve celebration, he stopped to take questions. There he was in his tuxedo with Melania on the way into the reception, but he stopped for about 10 minutes to take questions from the press. He is the most press accessible president we've ever had. So you don't need these daily press briefings asking what the president's policy is on this, that, or the other thing, or his reaction to this, that, or the other thing, because the press has the opportunity to ask him directly. So that is another event that did not happen in 2019. Let's go down the list here. U.S. seamen being captured by Iran. Remember those humiliating photos of U.S. sailors on their knees in front of Iranian captors? We don't see that anymore. The Iranians felt free to do that under Obama. I haven't seen anything like that under Trump. They are no longer threatening our Navy ships the way they used to. They know better than to mess with Donald Trump. So that is something else that did not happen in 2019. Another thing, or multiple events that did not occur in 2019, new regulations, or lots of new regulations. There were some new regulations. In 2019, Trump issued the fewest new regulations in 44 years. That is something else that did not happen. It's not strictly something that did not happen. There were new regulations, but there were not a lot of new regulations compared to, well, going back 44 years. And final event that didn't happen in 2019, the House didn't send over the articles of impeachment. They were so hot to impeach Trump. They were saying how urgent it was, so urgent that they could not go to court to get certain witnesses, that they are now demanding that the Senate go to court to get. Figure that out. But the House did not send over the articles of impeachment. So that is the end of my list of things that didn't happen in 2019. But I could have missed some. If you can think of some events that did not happen in 2019, feel free to put them in the comments, and maybe I'll share them with everybody in a future vlog. And now we get to my little bonus video at the end. There have been these frequent occurrences of angry liberals stealing Trump-Pence campaign signs from front lawn. So this is a video of somebody, well, not stealing, but attempting to steal Trump 2020 campaign sign from a Trump supporter's front lawn. But what this prospective burglar didn't know was that the homeowner had electrified the sign. He electrified the sign, so when the prospective burglar tried to steal, or thief tried to, because I'm not going to look it up. I think a burglar, you have to actually break into a home. So we'll just say thief. I'm going to go with thief. Anyways, the burglar slash thief, when he tried to steal the sign, well, you'll see in the video, he touches the sign and then he just, reacts like that, and he jumps in the air and then he falls on the ground. That's the bonus video. Just watch it and then I'll be back for a final goodbye. Welcome back, and I hope I made somebody's day by showing you that video. And now you can make my day with a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? You can put them in the comments section below the video. You can also ask questions, suggest future topics. You can also subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. And finally, come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.